Okay, hello everyone. Good evening. I am Tracy DeMario, and I'm the Superstar Director for the Scented Bliss family. And tonight we are going to be talking all things fundraising. So one of the things that you guys hopefully have already realized about Scentsy is that generosity and give more than you take are two things that have been instilled from the very beginning with our company. In fact, that phone never rings, but of course it decides to do that right now. That's my home phone. Like no one knows my home phone except for who? Spammers. And they decide to call. Let me hang up real quick on them. Just a second. Sorry, all the timing. But I have a home phone because I want to have 911 for my daughter's nurses, just for simplicity, so they can find us. Okay. Okay, we won't have that issue anymore. Gotta love that. All righty, back to where we were. So anyway, so they really instill give more than you take, generosity, giving in the community and beyond. And so I think you guys are going to find that once you guys do a fundraiser, I mean, I'm sure you already think, oh, it would be great to be able to help someone else or another organization. But once you get to do it, I assure you that it's so rewarding. So fundraising with Scentsy are consultant ran programs. So it's not a Scentsy thing. Now, Scentsy does do a lot of giving through, of course, our charitable warmers.
Tracy.
Yes.
Real quick, Amy is here.
Oh, okay, great. Thank you.
She just doesn't have her last name on it.
Okay, perfect. Thanks so much. So they do a lot of different things in the community and such as well. However, if you guys decide to do fundraisers, they are consultant ran. That means there's no right or wrong way. No two consultants may do it the same, and that's totally okay. I'm going to share with you my experiences, what I have found to be best practices, and or other people that I know that have done fundraisers that are very successful. I'm going to be sharing that information. But again, you guys can make this your own. You can do your own thing. Just keep that in mind as we continue to talk through here. So there's a variety of different types of fundraisers. Now, one of which is just a traditional catalog fundraiser. So a catalog fundraiser is just that. It's using the full catalog. So for example, a few years ago, I had a customer who was a marathon runner, and she had an opportunity to go to California and run in this race. It was going to be quite expensive of a trip for her. And she was one of my customers. She had told me about it. And so I had simply said, oh my goodness, well, what about doing a fundraiser to help you cover some of your costs? And she's like, well, that would be awesome. What does that mean exactly? And I said, I will basically give you a set of my basket testers and some catalogs. You will collect orders, and then I will donate my commission. And I personally choose to donate 100% of my commission. That's up to you, but that is something that I do. And again, that can be a tax write-off too as well. It can be, so keep that in mind. And she was like, that would be great. So she took the catalogs and she took them to her office. She had the testers that she passed around. Of course, she had friends, family that wanted to participate. And she ended up earning a little over $200, which for her was extremely helpful and she was excited about. So it can really be that simple, not anything different than you would do if you were doing a typical bag party type of situation or a catalog party. So that's that one scenario. Again, we talked about bag parties, same kind of deal. If you want to loan some testers out, I oftentimes do pouch parties. So if you guys are not familiar with what a pouch party is, if you go on, again, the Scented Bliss team YouTube channel, there's actually a short training video on how to do pouch parties, as well as I believe one on fundraising with pouch parties. I had a baseball team a couple of years ago that the players were wanting to help offset some of their competitive fees, because that can be quite costly, and for some families, it's very challenging. So I created pouch parties for each and every one of the boys to take, mainly the parents, let's be honest, and pass around, collect orders. And then based on the player, I donated the commission from their orders that they brought in to them. That way it went towards their fees, not just generically, in a big pool of people, because there's always those people that are going to be great and participate. And then you've got those others that don't. So only the boys that actually brought me orders were the ones who received funds based on what was in their pouches that they collected. So that's one way of doing one. Then, of course, there's the online, and the virtual fundraisers are really taken off. So that is something I want you guys to seriously consider doing, especially last year with all of the COVID things and schools still needing funds or kids still needing funds for different things. That's another really good option. One of the things that I did was I had 7 missionaries that were making a trip to Guatemala. And so what I did for them is I created links, just like you guys would do if you were having a party, creating a party link. I did 7 different ones with their names, and then they shared those links out. Now, one of them actually said, hey, would you be willing to come and bring your Scentsy to my house and do like a party as well? And I said, absolutely. So for one of them, I actually went to her home, did a typical home party type of situation. However, there were no host rewards involved. The whole purpose was to collect sales, and I donated my commission, but the host rewards stayed with me. Okay, so just to kind of let you guys know, and that's because I was donating my commission. So that's just how I did that. And that's just another way you guys can do it. Now, many of you guys, have any of you guys ever done the Scent Circle fundraisers? Those are really common. And I personally think those are great if you have kids that are going to be doing the selling. Just like, you've probably had kids come home in the band or for sports, selling cheese and sausage or wrapping paper and different things. Very similar. You can simply create, and or they already have some created, a Scent Circle flyer. So it's a 1-page flyer, very simple. Now, in the US, because I think most of you probably on here tonight are US consultants, a 6-pack of Scent Circles is $15. So when we're doing a Scent Circle fundraiser, we charge $20, and there's nothing wrong with that. That is not out of compliance. It's totally fine. You can charge whatever you want actually for Scentsy. If you're not doing it for a fundraiser, probably not cool to do, but technically you can. And so they charge $20 for a 6-pack. Now, by doing that, that $5 extra automatically goes to the organization or the individual, depending on how you're doing it. And remember, you're going to get commission on the $15. So I personally donate that as well. I donate $7 a 6-pack. And so that way it's not maybe exactly the whole 25% commission that I would be getting, but I offset kind of some of that for tax. Okay. So that is how I do mine. So $7 per 6-packs. That can add up quite a bit. I do a dive team every single year, and some of those girls, they do fantastic. I choose to do Visa gift cards as the gifts. That's just what I do. Again, there's always host rewards involved, and I keep those for myself, depending on the age of the individuals that are selling. If you've got kids, you could do buddies or travel tins. I mean, you can come up with whatever prizes you want, but I just do whoever the top seller is gets a $25 Visa gift card. That's been my reward, and they always they don't expect it. It's just something that I've always done, and they get excited about it. Now, with the Scent Circles, I'm going to show you here in a second a group, and it's wonderful. If you're not already a part of it, I would highly recommend it because they are so creative, and there's some master fundraisers in there. One of which the things that they do is some of them do buddy clip fundraisers. So let's say a buddy clip is 15, same deal. They're going to charge 20 on that flyer. That way they can automatically give $5 off the top per buddy clip sold, as well as some of the commission. So you're getting $7 per buddy clip sold to the organization. You can do that with mini warmers, 6-packs of bars. I mean, it's unlimited if you just want to simplify, if you've got young people that are going to be doing the selling. So that's just one recommendation. Now, another thing that I have found to be very successful is I like using the showcase brochure. If I have an organization that's like, well, I don't really want to just do Scent Circles. I don't want to really just do one specific item. They're interested in all the things, which I totally get it. I totally understand. I like to use the showcase brochure. Whenever I do a fundraiser like that for an organization, they're not going to be utilizing bundle and saves. They're going to be ordering things just as they are on that showcase brochure. Number one, it's simple and easy. Secondly, then I can use some of those host rewards if I want to do prizes for like the top 3 sellers, if I want to. But at the end of the day, there are costs of doing fundraisers. Obviously, you're going to need to order those showcase brochures. You're going to have some order forms, business cards. I mean, there's going to be some costs initially. So for me, when I get those host rewards down the road, that kind of offsets when I sell that product, kind of offsets any expenses that I might have incurred when I did the fundraiser, the stuff I had to order and such. So that's just what I do. And again, I always donate 100%. There are consultants that are math wizards that I know have figured it out that they can actually donate up to 40% commission when they take the orders, for example, from the showcase brochure type of situation, and they collect all the orders and they do their mastery with the math equation. And because of how they can use those bundle and saves, now the customer didn't order bundle and saves, but when you, the consultant, are entering the order and you're putting it all in as bundle and saves, you could, if you have that math brain, you could figure it out to where you could actually donate up to 40% back because of the different savings that you're doing by using the bundle and saves on the back end. So hopefully that's making sense. Another thing to keep in mind, anytime you as a consultant sell $2,000 in a month, you automatically get a 5% bonus. So what you can say to anyone doing a fundraiser is, I would love to be able to give you guys as much as possible. I can donate 100% of my proceeds, which is 25% off the products. If you're certified, if you're essential, that would be 20%. However, if you guys sell 2,000, I can actually get you a bonus and donate 30%, because that's what you guys make whenever you sell 2,000 in a month. Okay, does that make sense, hopefully, to everyone? Very good. Okay, before I move on, I would like to pause for a moment because I've asked Amy Denny, she's one of our fabulous directors. She recently did a fundraiser, and so I wanted her to kind of share from the start to the finish a little bit about how she did the fundraiser, what organization she did it for, and kind of walk us through the steps of how she did hers. And then I will carry on with some other thoughts around fundraising. Amy, can you unmute and join us now?
Yep. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Well, I can't figure out my camera. It's really zoomed in, so I keep setting the computer back, but I'm over it. So anyway, my name is Amy Denny, and I am a director. My team is Show Me the Sense. I just did a fundraiser for, actually, it's a friend of my sister-in-law, and she has a little boy who has Weidman-Steiner syndrome. And he does a fundraiser every year in September. He picks fundraisers to do, and they donate everything that they get back. He donates back to the foundation. So he's such a cute little boy. I've never met him in person, but I've talked to his mom. I've talked to him on Zoom. So stinking cute. And so when she mentioned that she was doing a fundraiser, I messaged her and said, hey, I would love to do a Scentsy fundraiser for you. Is that something that you had ever thought about? So she said, no, I didn't even know you did those. So I told her how I do my fundraisers, and she was all aboard. So I set up an actual group. I did it all online because she's in St. Louis and I'm in Kansas City. So we did completely online. I set up a private Facebook group. She messaged everybody. And I sent her a cute little graphic that said, I'm hosting a fundraiser. Please let me know if you'd like an invite, for anybody who may not have gotten the actual invite from her messages, or who may not have seen it. Facebook is crazy sometimes with messages. And so we had about, I want to say there was maybe 50 people in her group. And I ran it just like I run one of my Facebook parties. So I did a full catalog. I used Visly. For those who are not familiar with Visly, it is an app that you can upload different, Tracy, what's the word I'm looking for? Different
templates.
Yes,
templates.
Yes. And it will actually post in the group for you, so that you're not copying and pasting, you're not scheduling all night long or all day long, because I do work a full-time job. So I have to make sure that I do everything as easy as possible, and Bisley makes that possible for me. So I used Bisley. I set up my party. It's a 10-day party. And then I actually created on Canva a personalized banner. So it didn't just like say fundraiser or anything like that. I created a banner with his picture on it, and it said something about, I don't know, it was super cute. It said something about falling in love with Scentsy product. I know it didn't say Scentsy products. I don't know. It said something about fall because it had leaves on it. And it said about that what the fundraiser was actually for. And then, of course, at the beginning of the party, I typed up a welcome and, thanked everyone for coming and told them, all of my profits. And I'm like, Tracy, I donate everything that I make is going back to him for the fundraiser. And then I ran the party for 10 days with my Bisley template. And we ended up doing PRV, this isn't with tax or anything, $1,156. So they are going to get my commission from that, which will be paid Friday, I think, because, should be Friday, because the 10th falls on a weekend. And so I will give them my commission from that. And then usually when I do fundraisers, I will keep the free and half price items for myself, because that's kind of like my payment for doing the fundraiser, since I'm donating my commission. But I just love this little boy so much. So I'm going to split it with her. So I think it was like almost $180 in free product. So I'm going to give her $100 in free product, because I know there were some things in the catalog that he really wanted. He's crazy about Star Wars. And so last Christmas, she ordered him the child warmer and the child buddy. So I know there's some things in the catalog that he really wanted. And although they can't use their free and half price on licensed products, I will find a way to make it possible that they get whatever that they want, because he's such a stinging cute little boy. And but you can also, so like for the free and half price items, when I do use them for myself, I use it to build my stock. I do a lot of events. And so that's a great way to build stock for events. Like Tracy said, you could also give them as prizes. One time I did one for like a cheerleading team, and I used my free and half price products. Theirs was over $1,000 as well. Actually, it was close to 2,000. So they had 5 half price products. They had the 4 from the catalog and then the 1 perpetual. So I gave like the top 5 sellers their choice of something half off in the catalog. And then I think I did Visa gift cards with theirs as well. But you can use them as prizes. And I guess that's really what I did. It did really well. So it's just all about making sure that you're answering questions within the party, just like you would do a normal Facebook party. And like I said, it was all online. So I didn't send anything to them. I was out no money for showcase brochures, mailing, anything like that. Now, if she had asked me, or somebody had asked me, hey, can you mail me a physical catalog? I would have been more than happy to do so. But since it was all online, there was no out-of-pocket cost for me. And I just went and just did it like a normal party that I do. And I just made sure I got logged on every day. And if people had questions, I of course answered them, and made sure that, of course, this month, it just ended the 29th, I think, of September. We ended it because she wanted to make sure and get the NFL warmers in there in case anybody wanted to purchase. So we held it open for 2 extra days. And so I'll make sure this month I send everybody a little thank you. And I actually am using some of my free product to order some scent circles. So I'm going to send them, since they didn't have anything physical to look at, I'm sending them a product sheet that I'm going to fold in thirds and mail it in a cute little envelope. And I have some scented stickers from the Success Store that I'm going to use to seal the envelope so that they get something smelly. And I'm going to mail a scent circle that I'm using part of my rewards to buy a whole bunch of scent circles for the people that ordered. But the orders, you guys, weren't like small orders. They were like $40 here, $60 here. Somebody ordered $120. And then I also posted on my Facebook wall, and I actually had two friends that do not know this person actually went ahead and ordered online. They were placing orders anyway. And I said, if you would just place it in the fundraiser, that would be awesome, because I want to give them as much of my commission as possible. So I had two friends that were planning on ordering anyway, go ahead and place their order inside the fundraisers, which was awesome, because I wanted to make sure that I could give as much as I possibly could. So, so this weekend, that's what I'm doing. I am getting my scent circles and all of that stuff out to them. And I think that's it. So is there anything else I need
Awesome.
to talk about? Okay.
That was perfect. Thank you, Amy. We appreciate you very much.
Not a
Thank you.
problem.
And that's such a neat thing. And that's something I want you guys to think about too, is, I mean, that's a really cool situation. I once had a family contact me. Well, had conversations, but they had a family member who had an accessible vehicle, or didn't have an accessible vehicle, but had a van and was wanting to have a lift put in it, which is lots and lots and lots of money. So we did a fundraiser. We rallied around and did a Scentsy fundraiser. They were doing other things too to help raise funds. I actually know a consultant that one time one of her customers really wanted a Michael Kors purse. And she's like, well, can I do a fundraiser for that? And the consultant's like, okay, fine, fine. Because here's what you guys need to think about. Yes, you're donating your commission. But at the same time, you are going to have opportunities to get contact information and have follow-up conversations with people you would have not had an opportunity to know any other way. And that's what you guys have to think about. Many of you guys don't have the luxury of having lots of friends or family members that are just supporting your business so much that it's going to grow beyond belief if you don't expand. Most of us have to look to constantly expand our customer base. That takes the longest. It's one of the things that for some is the most challenging. That's the beauty about fundraisers. When you do fundraisers, all of these people that are supporting individuals or organizations, now you've got contact information to do follow-up with, which is going to lead to future orders, future hosts, and future team members. It's a known fact. When you do the follow-up and you plant those seeds, something will come of it somewhere. If they bought Scentsy once, they're going to buy it again. And if you're taking care of them, they're going to buy it again from you. We know this. So those are some really good opportunities for you guys. And that's what I need you to be thinking about. And not only does it feel good to give, but in reality, it's going to help you grow your business. Now, some other things that I have done and that I found to be very successful. For example, at my son's previous school, they always did a race. That was just a common thing. They had a 5K run every single year. And so they would allow vendors to set up. If you would donate, they didn't even give you a requirement. Just said if you would just donate some of your proceeds from your sales that day back to the school. So I always did that. And they gave away race bags, bags to all the racers with different stuff in it that different businesses and stuff contributed. And I was always able to drop a product list with a scent sample in all of the race bags. So that was just another way to get my name out there, just because I did that. It cost me nothing to do it. But even if they did charge me $35 to be a vendor, again, so worth it, because I was going to have the opportunity to remind everybody or anybody that came to this race that I was the Scentsy lady. So those are some things you guys can think about. If you've got any schools or organizations or anyone that are doing races, ask them, say, hey, would it be possible for me to set up a table at your race? Now, keep in mind, I'm not saying you have to have a full-blown event type of display. That may or may not be appropriate based on whatever the situation, the circumstance is. Just if you had a simple display like you would at a home party, you can then collect orders. You could actually pass out cards with like a QR code that went directly to your website that had a party ID that was for that fundraiser. So that way you would know when people placed orders that it went towards that fundraiser, so that you could donate the commission back to the organization. I mean, those are all possible things that you could do. I know a lot of times if you guys see like on bulletin boards and Facebook nowadays, you'll see people saying, hey, we're having a chili dinner to raise money for this family. We're doing a poker night for this baseball team, whatever. Contact the organizations and just say, hey, wanted to know, if you would like, I would love to come to set up just a simple table, Scentsy table, and I'd like to donate a percentage of my proceeds from any sales that we might get or any orders to your organization. I mean, why not ask? You never know what might come of it. And again, now you've got an opportunity to come in front of people that you probably never would have before. I know I've got team members that actually do wrestling matches and do cheer competitions, and they will set up actual events. They'll sell cash and carry, but again, you could do orders as well. And then they donate a percentage, not all, but they do donate a percentage of their sales in lieu of paying a fee for being a vendor per se to the organization that's sponsoring that wrestling tournament or that cheer thing. So there's so many ways you guys can do this. And like I said, give back, but also help you grow your customer base. Another one that I bet you guys have probably seen, I know we've posted it a few times, and one of my dear friends, I don't know if she was the first one to do these, but she has had the biggest success of anybody that I've seen. And that is Patty Knight. She's a star director from Indiana. She has a grandson that was diagnosed with cancer a few years ago. And fortunately, he's doing really well. He's doing fantastic. But she was really moved by having that experience in the hospital, spending so much time there for quite some time, that she decided to do a buddy drive. And so she talked to the hospital. They said yes, they were completely supportive of it. I can't even tell you the number of buddies over the years that she has raised and that she has donated to this children's hospital, but it's incredible. And so awesome how her people have just rallied around, all of her customers, people in the community have rallied around. Now her team even gets on board, and different team members also do it on behalf of Gabe, her grandson. So really cool ways that you guys can generate interest around Scentsy, sharing Scentsy, and doing something bigger than just ourselves and our own personal business. I can tell you that there's a handful of consultants that I'm good friends with that earn every single incentive trip primarily because of their fundraising PRV. That is what gets them the trips. My friend Aspen, I'm going to actually share I'll share if you guys haven't seen already. She did a series of 4 different training videos to show you how she sets up her fundraisers. And she does thousands of dollars in fundraisers. I mean, one fundraiser will be $6,000 or $7,000. So she has systems that work. The hardest thing usually is initially getting them. That's what's going to probably take the most work, is getting your name out there and securing them. But if you secure them and you do a good job, again, then you'll have your name in there. Kind of like me with events. I've done the same events year after year. Once I kind of get my little circle, I just do the same ones. And the same will be true with your fundraising. So it's just that initial effort of getting that under your belt, and then it becomes much, much easier. So there's a couple of things that I did want to show you, and I will post Aspen's training videos in the event for tonight that was listed in the group. That way you guys can find it easily there if you're wanting to check that out. But I wanted to show you guys and make sure you guys, oops, I got to share. So I'm going to share screen real quick to make sure that you guys are familiar with how to access these resources too.
Hey, Tracy.
Yes.
While you're doing that, can I say something real quick?
Of course. Absolutely. Please do.
It's kind of going back to what you said about when you do fundraisers and you get customers and you reach a wider group of people than you would normally be able to reach because you're reaching out to new people. Just because you're doing a fundraiser doesn't mean that you shouldn't share the opportunity to join your team. I did a fundraiser last summer. One of my friends' 4-year-old daughter was diagnosed with leukemia. And so I did a fundraiser for them, and it was a little over $1,600. And I shared the join opportunity, and I got one of my team members who is awesome. And she hit shooting star and sensational start level 1, and has done really well with her business. So you just never know where you're going to find new joins too. So just because you're doing a fundraiser doesn't mean you shouldn't offer the opportunity to join as well, because just like planting seeds for people to buy from you in the future, once you thank them and they have your information, you could be planting seeds for someone to join. Or the next time somebody needs a fundraiser, say, hey, you know what? They did really well with that fundraiser. Maybe I should join and do a fundraiser for my best friend or for my child or something like that. So you just never know you just always need to share the opportunity as well as the purchasing aspect of it as well.
I am so glad that you actually said that, Amy, because it reminded me, I don't know how I forgot that, but it's probably been 3 or 4 years ago. I actually had a gal that I had talked to at one of my events about doing a fundraiser. And she ended up doing one to help raise funds for kids going to camp. So there was several she said that would benefit from. So she did it. But then before we closed it, I actually gave her the opportunity to become the consultant and let all of the fundraising PRB go under her. And she actually did it. And she's been more of a hobbyist, which is totally great and fine, but you're right. Like, you never know. And I totally didn't even remember that example. So that's so very true. You just never know. And what somebody may come with it, you never know. So definitely always ask and share. And that's why the follow-up is so, so important. So I want to make sure all of you guys are familiar with this group and are part of this group. They have this is where all the fundraising gurus hang out. So if you guys want to learn more about fundraisers, if you want examples of forms that they've already sent out to organizers, if you're wanting examples of different, like I said, the scent circles, the buddy clips, flyers that have already been made and created, this is your group. So make sure that you guys request to join. You need to make sure you answer all of the membership questions. If you just click on join, they will just decline your invite. They need to verify that you are a Scentsy consultant. So you need to make sure that you're answering those questions. I'm not an admin in this group, so I can't approve you. So it's really important, again, that you answer the questions, but you're going to find a ton of really helpful information. So hopefully you guys got that. And then the next thing I wanted to show you. So this is the Scented Bliss Facebook group. First of all, shout out to Jackie Duran. How many of you guys have noticed the new cover image the last couple of weeks? She has kindly volunteered to do this for us, and you'll see it has the events that are happening each week, just to make it easier for you guys to see. Of course, you can always check out the events section as well in our group, but it's so nice to have all that right when you first pop into the group. I want to make sure you guys are familiar with where else you can find fundraising stuff, because we could spend a long time talking about fundraisers because there's so many different ways to do it. But this way you guys on your own time can check it out. If you guys go to the guides in our group, I've circled it over here, and it looks a little different on your phone or your computer. Sometimes it's found a little bit different, but go to the guides. There's one specifically on fundraising. So check that out, because I've shared some really cool tips and tricks that some other consultants have done, and they can be found there. Also, if you go to the topics, so topics is where we have a variety of things, especially like I know commonly people are asking questions about the warmer of the month. We will tag posts with hashtags to make it easy to search to find those hashtags like warmer of the month or fundraising. But if you click on topics, it pulls up anything that we as the admins have tagged to make it easier for you guys to find. So again, you're going to find a lot of good information on fundraising there. And last but not least is under albums. There is a fundraising album, and in the comments of that album is a lot of good resources that will give you guys, again, some more ideas and information. Last but not least, of course, is your workstation. There's actually in the training center, if you go to your workstation, you log in, go to Scentsy Success, and then search fundraising or fundraise, you will see all of Scentsy Corporate's trainings and resources that they have done on fundraising. So I am going to stop the recording. I remembered, aha, way to go. I'm going to stop the recording here real quick. Guys, this is a big deal. I usually don't, so let's see. Okay, stop.